Hey everyone, Andrew Hess here. Today what we're going to do is we're going to go off of last week's video. So if you're missing last week's video, the link will be in the description. We're going to build off that gallery we created and we're going to write to SharePoint. We're going to do some special things in SharePoint, do a little group by, make it look a little better. Let's get into it. Let's connect to our data source in SharePoint. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comments. Let's get into it. All right, so this is where we left off last time. We have a Power App. We can add rows. We have rows with text boxes, and that's all we have, and we have a clear button. I want to hook this up so it writes somewhere. First, let me put a little border on here. I want a border. So we have a gallery. It doesn't write anywhere, but we have many rows that we could write. Now, there's options that we have to write to a data source. It's not always, we go to Dataverse. When I think about this, I think about requirements. And the other thing is, do we need to see the old data or the data that we submitted in Power Apps, or can we see it in SharePoint? I kind of like the idea that we just write in Power Apps on this side of things. So all we're doing is we're writing here on Power Apps and we're writing to SharePoint. And so then we can have millions of rows without having to worry about anything. We're not going to hit delegation if we're just writing to SharePoint. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Also, I'm a little biased towards SharePoint. The other thing is this going to be multi-tables? Are there going to be multi-tables? Is there going to be a user table? Right? So we probably want to log the user. Right? So we have some text here and we have some text inputs. We probably want the customer name, I guess you would call it. So customer name. You would probably want a customer name. You probably would want their address, right? So if we have their information, we want their address. Okay, so we have customer name, we have address. What else would we want to collect about our customers or our users? I think that's where I'll leave it at. Now, if you have more, then you just add more. That's the point, is not to do this one way. It's to give you ideas so you can keep building. All right, so we have customer name and address. Now you could split up address, and put it into city and zip code and split all that up if you want to. But I'm not doing that today. All right, we have customer name and address. There's one more thing I probably want to add. I'm going to add a GUI ID, not just the SharePoint ID, GUI ID. This is going to be our own ID value. I believe you could just do like GUI ID, like that. And it will generate a GUI ID for us. And we'll get into why I created that later on. It's not necessary. It's just the way I'm thinking through things right now. Okay, so now we need a SharePoint site. Now we're in SharePoint. I want a list. I want a Microsoft list. Site contents, new, list, inventory, data, I guess, something we could call it. Notice there's no spaces there. Inventory data. Then we have item, description, quantity. So description is text, but it's a multi-line text. Actually, let me go back. Multi-line text field. This is description. Let me just create this real quick. Quantity, price. Now, the reason I'm doing number for quantity and number for price is because of a calculation. That's my decision on this. I am going to say these are number values because I'm going to do a calculation on it. Not every number should be a number in SharePoint. So let's see. But because I'm going to do a calculation, quantity times price, then I want it to be a number type field. There we go. Put the dollar symbol on there. Then we need at least three more fields. We need customer name, address, and GUI ID on every row. customer name, address, and GUI ID. Okay, and then I'm going to rename title as item. All right, so we have our fields. I'm going to take the SharePoint site URL, which is right here, SharePoint site URL. Copy that. I'm going to go to my data tab on the far left, add row, connectors. I want SharePoint. SharePoint, connect, inventory data, connect. All right, so we've connected to our inventory data. Now let's try to write one row. Now there's many different ways to do this, and I did this a different way last time. The way that I did this last time is I turned this gallery into HTML, into a table, and then I pasted that into a multi-line text field. I'm doing it different this time because I want to show different ways to do things. I don't want to remake the exact same video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to patch. I need a save button. So I'm going to copy clear. I'll put it right here. And this will be save. So this is our save button. Maybe clear goes somewhere else. Save and clear next to each other. You don't always want that, right? So let's put clear. Actually, let's put save here at the bottom. There we go. That kind of gives separation between our clear button and our save button. All right, so that's what that looks like. We have our app here. Now our save button on the on select, we're going to patch. What are we going to patch? We're going to patch our inventory data, SharePoint list, inventory data. All right. You can do defaults if you want to. You don't actually always have to have that. I'll leave it in there. Next is a squiggly bracket. And what are we going to write? We're going to write customer name, address, and GUI ID first. So customer name is, let's rename each of these real quick. So this is text, customer name. This one is text, address. And this one is text, GUI ID. Maybe I'll change that to GUID, like that, GUID. Okay, so now we're back to our patch statement. Customer name, text, customer name dot value. Address, text, address dot value. GUI ID, text, GUI ID dot value. All right, so we did those three fields. And notice, pay attention here. This helps a lot of people on their first time when they start doing this. Notice that this is like a pink, maroon, purple. And same thing here. It's like a pink, maroon, purple. It helps you visualize your formula, right? So you have a green here, it matches the green text box. You have a blue here, it matches the blue text box. Okay, so if we type something in, hit save, that then writes to SharePoint. We can hit refresh, and we can see we have test, and a GUI ID. All right. Now, when we hit save, we want to generate another GUI ID, right? I don't want the same one every time. I want to generate a GUI ID. So I'm going to create a variable. There's a few different ways to create a variable. I'm going to do update context. Oh, I need a semicolon here. Update context. Variable GUID is GUID ID. So let's see here. Now for GUI ID, this blue part right here, instead of GUI ID, I'm going to set it as my variable. Okay, so when I hit save, it generates a new GUI ID, although it just saved blanks in there or tests in there. But you see, now it's generating a new GUI ID every time I hit save. Now you maybe want to on your first time loading this up. So when you first load up on screen on visible, since we already did on visible, right here, I'll also do a GUI ID. So when you load up, when you go to this screen, it collects another GUI ID, right? So we should have a few GUI IDs in here now. If we press refresh, we can see we have a few in there. I had a blank. Remember, I had a blank. And then now you can see that the GUI IDs are changing. Okay? We like that. We like that. But now I want to loop through my items here. I want to loop through each one of these. So I just put some data in the gallery real quick, some demo data. And now I'm going to create another button down here. And this is just going to be collect, and it's temporary. It's temporary button because I want to split things up as we learn things. So it's a collect button. In my new collect button here, in my on select, I'm going to collect everything or all of my rows in my gallery. So all of my rows. So for all of my rows in my gallery, for all, what do I want to do? I want to, for all gallery one dot all items, right? So for all the rows in my gallery, I want to collect. I can't do clear collect here, right? If I did clear collect, it would clear and collect numerous times, and it just won't let you do that, right? It won't let you clear and collect. It won't let you do that. So we're going to collect. What are we going to collect? A new collection name. Collect my entire gallery. A new collection name. And what are we going to collect? We're going to collect item, which is text item.value, item.value, description, which is text description.value, quantity, text quantity.value, price, text price.value. And let's see if we get our parentheses right. Okay, we are collecting each one of those, but we want to clear before we press the button, or when we press the button. So clear our collection, my entire gallery. So since we can't do clear collect inside the for all, I'm going to clear out here. All right, so now when I press play and I click collect, you can see I have one row, two rows. There's actually a third row. We did that in our last video. We created a third row on purpose. So if we check here, we can see we have my first row, second row, and then this blank row. And this is where our button is, right? And so what are we going to do? We're going to remove that last row. So I'm going to say remove from my collection the last row in my collection. And let's see here. What am I missing? I'm missing a parentheses. Okay, so now let's press the button again. Collect. This time, there are two rows, view data, and it's my only two rows that matter to me. Okay, so now that we've collected, I'm going to take this entire equation and I'm going to put it in our save button because that was the point to begin with. All right, so, and you maybe want to comment in here, you know, clears the gallery and collects all rows except the last button row. Right? Give yourself a little comment. And then now we're patching our table and our name, address, GUI ID. But it doesn't work perfect yet, right? Because we're just patching the first three items. We also want to patch the collection. So for all of my collection, the collection entire, what was it? Entire gallery, is that what I called it? Collection, my entire gallery. What do we want to do? We want to patch all of that, and then this time we need an ending parentheses here. This time we're going to do this record. So we're going to do item, or actually item we renamed title. SharePoint item is actually title. So this is title, this record dot item. The next one, description. This record dot description. Quantity. This one's a little different because it needs to be a number. So I'm going to do int text quantity dot value. Let's see. We have price. Once again, a number. Int text price dot value. And then we messed up customer name. Let's see. What am I? Oh, we've got the parentheses here. There we go. So let me hit format text. Let's see how it looks when I do that. Okay, it kind of pushes everything down, but you can see, okay, we have, let me kind of break things out. All right. All right, so this is my clear gallery collects all rows. This is patching our table and our name, address, GUI ID. All right, so we're patching our table, and that's on the this record items. This record. Oh, I messed up here. This should be this record. I'm going to leave that in there. This record dot quantity. And this one here too, this record dot price. All right, so each of the ones that we're looping through are this record. So the row that we're on, this record, that's why they're this records. Each one of the ones that we're not looping through, and they're going to be the same on every line. They are going to be text customer name, value, GUI ID. So now the customer name, Andrew Hess, at 123 here street. We are now going to hit save. I'm going to delete the collect button. We're going to hit save. Oh, I got some errors in here. These need to be 1, 2. We can validate these in a minute. All right, so we need some data validation, right? I typed in a text in there. We'll figure that out in a minute. But let's try again now that we have numbers in there. So let's say 10, 20, price is 5 and 10. Hit save. Okay, this time it writes, right? It meets our data validation. Let's check out our data. Hit refresh. Now you can see it says item 1, item 2, description 1, 2, price. But look at customer name, right? It looped through each of those, and the GUI ID stayed the same too. All right. So I'm going to delete all of these. So that's what I want. Let's go ahead and do another one. Let's say item, let's say toy, let's say cookie, and let's say a dinosaur toy, chocolate chip cookie. Quantity 1, we bought 5 cookies for $1 and $20. Let's add one more item in here just for fun. Let's say membership. A membership to all you can eat chocolate. All right, quantity 1, the price is $100. All right, so now before I hit save, I want to clear out my gallery or my collection. So at the very end, I'm going to clear, but not not the new collection. I'm clearing the collection that we did on the add item button. So on our add item button, you can see we collected collection gallery row. So here in my save button, so we're not actually getting rid of the data at first. So clear collection gallery row. So now when I hit the save button, it clears out the gallery, but we didn't lose our data yet. We probably want to clear this out. We can refresh here. We can see we have our items, our description, quantity, and the GUI ID. Okay, that's pretty neat, right? And so now this is where I want to do, it kind of depends. I'm going to leave this up to you guys. Where should I go next? Like, do you really want me to focus on data validation? Where do you want me to go? But first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear all of these text fields. So now, after I clear my collection, I'm also going to reset text customer name, reset text address, reset text GUI ID. Okay, so let me put in some more information here. I want some more in here. Oh, look, when we cleared out our gallery, we did it wrong, actually, right? Our clear button collects one show item. So let me go back to our save button. This is something we did on our last video. So if you missed our last video, you're going to have to go back and rewatch it. Instead of clearing the gallery row, we want to add our button there, right? So our button. And we forgot our semicolon. There we go. So now that we clear collect and we replace that, now when we hit play and we press it one time, it clears out our data. It generated a new GUI ID, even though I cleared it. I guess I did that at the wrong. I didn't need to reset. Oh, reset GUI ID worked also. So we have a new GUI ID. That's good. We could probably take out this reset. And we'll push this at the very bottom. Okay. And this is clear our gallery. Add the button back. Clear our text fields. All right. So give yourself some comments in there. Something where you can come back in the future, or if you're working on a team, that they can understand your comments. Probably do better comments than I did. All right, so now let's take a look at in here. I should have just that data in there. I want to create one more group of rows. So now let's do customer name. Let's do Batman. 1, 2, 3 Gotham City Street. Let's see, car, toy, a helicopter, a Batmobile. One, the price is very expensive. Toy, Batman. One, not that bad. Helicopter, the Batman helicopter. One, very, very expensive. An extra 0 there. Okay, so now I'm going to hit save again. Now that we've kind of built everything, we cleared everything, this should be almost exactly how we want it. Save. It's running, clears everything out, generates a new GUI ID. We have our button here. We can clear. It's writing to SharePoint. Boom, each of those rows. Now this is the part that I want to focus on now today. I want to show a little extra stuff. We could work in here more if we want to, but I want to work in here. I want to create something cool. And I'm going to probably do some fun things. All right, so I want to go to my gear icon, and bear with me. I want to group by the GUI ID. So list settings. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here to the very bottom of my view, right? And I'm going to create a new view, right? Create view. And then I'm going to start from an existing view. I'm going to duplicate all items. All right, so I'm duplicating all items. I don't want to edit all items. Grouped by. Let's just say grouped by order. Grouped by order, purchase order, or we'll call it purchase order. Grouped by purchase order, okay? And then down here, group by, I'm going to group by our GUI ID. Now you have to be careful here. Group by does not work if you have more than 5,000 rows in the view. So what you want to do is probably filter show items when, let's say date, let's say created date is less than today minus 31. I think that's how I do it. I think that's how you do it. I think it's today in parentheses. Maybe we'll double check that. Let me pull up Copilot. All right, so let's pull up Copilot. And let's say I want, oh, is it typing? I want to filter by today minus 31 in my SharePoint list. What is the formula? So it's putting today in square brackets. I think I don't even need square brackets, but we'll just put that in there. Okay. So today minus 31 is greater than or equal to today minus 31. So that way we never really have more than 5,000 items in this row. It doesn't break our group by. So let's ask Copilot about that. If I have a group by and I filter today minus 31 and it never reaches over 5,000 items within 31 days, will it break my view if the entire amount is greater than 5,000? So you can see it generated, enforces a list for 5,000 items to protect performance. How many items are returned by the view, not how many exist in the list, right? So we don't want to break our group by. So in order to do that, and I'm only showing the past 31 days in that group by. Now you could show 60, you could show 2 months if you want to. But the key is, as long as we're filtered under 5,000, we're not going to break our group by. That's the key. All right, so now you can see we have our group bys. They're grouped up. That looks great, but let me change a couple more things. I'll go back into list settings. This is kind of the fun stuff I want to do. I want it to always be open. Let's see, group by, expanded. Okay, I want it show groupings expanded, always open, and make this my default view. Okay, so this is now my default view. We can see our GUI IDs. We have them in there. Now, this is where I'm going to use Copilot again. This is kind of something I did in another video. Okay, I created a group by on my GUI ID. Now I want to create a list. Let me make sure this is in the center. I created a group by on my GUI ID. And now I want to create a list view JSON that changes the way the group by GUI ID looks. I want there to be emoji for the row and just say the GUI ID, not the actual title. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it's going to write JSON. Let's see how well my prompt engineering is. It wrote this beautiful JSON. It did a puzzle piece. I like that. Copy. I'm going to go to my list here. Format current view. I'm in the way. Let me move me. Advanced mode. Preview. So now we can see I have a puzzle piece here. You see I have a puzzle piece. And then let's write, instead of just that, let's write in here. Let's write purchase order. Preview. Okay. So now instead of it saying the GUI ID, it says purchase order. Now instead of the puzzle piece, I'm going to hold down Windows and period. And I'm going to choose a different emoji, something, I don't know, group, purchase. Maybe we'll do like toys. Is there a toy? How about toys? Because we're kind of on the toys anyways. We'll do a teddy bear. All right, so preview. So now we can see we have purchase order. Now you could probably make that better if you want to, or you could take out the emojis. Maybe you want 2 teddy bears on both sides. But now you can see we have our purchase orders. We have the GUI IDs. You probably don't, I think if you hide this, it will break. So if I hide that, you see it does break the JSON. So, okay, so that's where I'm going to leave you at today. This is how I did this with SharePoint. And there were some things we had to think about. One, we wanted to avoid delegation. So we didn't want to view all of our data in Power Apps. We wanted to view the data in SharePoint. Number 2, we wanted to write by looping through our form, which we did. And then we grouped by GUI ID, but I didn't like the way that looked. So I changed that to purchase order with some emojis. Maybe you can come up with something more clever than me, but I didn't like the way it said GUI ID in that long GUI ID. It didn't make sense to me. We made a group by field and we edited the JSON using Copilot. that's where I'm going to leave you at today. Next week, what we're going to do is we're going to create a download button. So we'll make a button and we can download the purchase order, make it in a nice HTML. That's what we're going to do next week. Thank you all for watching. My name is Andrew Hess, and I'll see you next week.